Wind-up. Connection has been saying they've been waiting to do this for a long time with him.
Yeah, and it's interesting. If it has a positive effect and there's more to come, then it makes him a massive player. Obviously, second in last year's champion chase behind Altior, and that run proves that he's effective at this track. In the past, I think he'd often seemed better on a flatter track. He's got a high level of form. He's got the highest rating coming into this race. He travels well. He jumps well, and I'd say that he's in there with a good chance.
Behind him is the old boy coming to the left, the chestnut, Simply Ned. He'll be 13 in a couple of months' time, or in a month and a half's time, but he's still capable of high-class form and an encouraging return.
Yeah, it was a solid enough run at Kelso. I would imagine that was with a view to putting him right for this. It's the 6th straight year that he's run in this race. He's been second 3 times in this contest in the past.
He looks well. And behind him, the horse with the hood on is Defi de Seuil, who, of course, won at the Cheltenham Festival in the JLT.
Yeah, and I think that form gives him a really good chance. He was a leading novice last year over fences. He had some really good form with the likes of Lost in Translation. If you're looking at him with a view of is he ready for his seasonal return, well, in paddock inspection, you couldn't be happier. He looks extremely fresh and well. He looks really hard fit. I think he's the one to beat this afternoon in receipt of weight from the others, and I don't think we've still seen fully how good he is.
And the last horse in the quartet is St. Calvados. Many people felt should have run yesterday, but here he is running the Shloer.
Yeah, he's the race fit one. Seemed to benefit from a change in tactics last time out. Interesting whether they stick with those back in a smaller field or if they revert to the old front running style.
We'll find out ahead of this year's Shloer.
Yeah, I think I've heard him have 5 winners on the channel so far this afternoon. Defi de Seuil, another favourite for JP McManus, and absolutely rock solid to do so. And Politolog has drifted out to meet the incoming in the market, St. Calvados. And although he's an admirable horse, he is an admirable horse. Simply Ned is very much the outsider here. But Defi de Seuil, I think he's bidding to be number 6 on the channel this afternoon for JP McManus.
And Jonathan, as Chris was saying in the paddock, the tactics for this 4-runner race are very interesting, aren't they?
Well, yes. We saw the outside of the 4 make all the running in the previous race. I've no idea who's going to lead, but I mean, Defi de Seuil dropping back in trip. I mean, that's not really going to be a problem, I don't think. There was a lot of humming and hawing about whether he should have run in the Arkle anyway, wasn't there?
There was.
But he looks fantastically well. And, of course, he's receiving weight from the others.
Towards the end of the season, he seemed to thrive for more patient tactics, didn't he? Being delivered a little bit late.
Yeah, and I suppose that'll be the tactics today, but I've no idea what's going to happen over the first half mile, and I should think, other than 1 or 2 of the jockeys, neither is anyone else.
It must be tempting for Gavin Sheehan, even though St. Calvados seemed to suit different tactics last time, to revert in this particular scenario to front running.
Well, they clearly wanted to make him less one-dimensional, and it worked. And I would have thought they wouldn't want to.
Could it be Politolog then, who can sit prominently?
Well, at the moment, that's the way it's looking.
It certainly is. Flags up, let's join Ian.
Start already. 4 of them out on the course. First prize more than 42,000 here. They turn to face the tape. They're off. They race away. They have a dozen fences over 2 miles to jump in this year's running of the Shloer Chase, and the grey Politolog, a yellow jacket for Harry Cobden, sits at the front of the 4-strong field as they get to number 1. St. Calvados towards the left, nose-banded. Best turned out winner with Gavin Sheehan, and alongside him is Defi de Seuil. Barry Geraghty in the green and yellow hoops, definitely now jumping through into second position there as they run on towards fence number 3. And then Simply Ned, run number 6 for him in this contest. He's been runner-up 3 times already. Heading on towards numbers 3 and 4, the last 2 plain fences down the home straight. Politolog has a lead of around about 2 lengths as he comes to the first of those. Lovely leap over it, landed almost 3 lengths ahead. St. Calvados with the noseband joined Defi de Seuil on touching down over that, and again they were together as they jumped number 4, and the red jacket Brian Hughes on Simply Ned continues to be the back marker of the quartet as they run away then to the far side of the course. Number 5, another plain fence coming up, and Politolog best part of 3 lengths ahead as he comes to 5. Safely over it. Defi de Seuil about a half length ahead of St. Calvados in second and third places, and Simply Ned is a couple of lengths behind those. So way off to the far side they go. Coming up next will be another plain one, number 6, then the water 7, ditches 8 and 10, and the plain fence 9 between those. Politologue up and over safely. Not much again in second place between Defi du Seuil and the much lighter jacket of St Calvados. Simply Ned continues to be under restraint behind them as they come to the water, number 7. All safe over it. The first of the open ditches coming up now as they run uphill to the far side of the course. There'll only be 5 or 6 lengths between the quartet. Continues to be Harry Cobden making the running on Politologue. Good leap over that. They all jumped it very well, in fact. Plain fence number 9 coming up next. Second position is still... well, actually, now it might just be St Calvados going narrowly ahead of Defi du Seuil at this next plain obstacle, and very little between them. There's only a length behind those to Simply Ned. So the top of the hill now, number 10 coming up, which is the final one of the open ditches, and this afternoon is 3 from the finish, so quite a long way to run, but not too much jumping to do from here. Politologue continues to be in front, the nose-banded head of St Calvados in second place, quite a big leap from Defi du Seuil in third, and about a length and a half at most behind them to Simply Ned. So right at the top of the hill now, left-handed, about to run downhill, a long run to the second last obstacle. Now there's only about 3 lengths between the quartet in this Shloer chase, and it continues to be Politologue in front. The others about a length behind him. Strong travelling at St Calvados with the noseband, Gavin Sheehan's mount in second, then Barry Geraghty on Defi du Seuil, and Brian Hughes is only a half length behind him on the 12-year-old Simply Ned, who's banged there in contention. So now there's only 2 lengths between the quartet as they continue the run on towards the home straight. Politologue, they left him alone in front, continues to be there. Leading to, in second place, the nose-banded head of St Calvados. Defi du Seuil in between those, and on the left, swinging along, is Simply Ned. So they come then to the home turn, and again, 4, they're almost in line here. And as they level up, it's still the grey, Politologue, who has the advantage. Importantly, for the second last, and he got it as well. Simply Ned on the left in second place, St Calvados is there. Defi du Seuil with him, the last, they're almost 4 in line. Just Politologue, but now here come his challengers. Defi du Seuil is into second place and galvanised towards the near side, trying to get past Politologue, who won't lie down without a fight. Defi du Seuil, though, has taken the lead with Barry Geraghty and Wemms. Defi du Seuil in second. Third is very close. The pale jacket St Calvados and the red colours of Simply Ned.
A thrilling race for the Shloer, and Defi du Seuil has triumphed. The 11-8 favourite for Barry Geraghty and Philip Hobbs got the better of Politologue. Has got a super jump at the second last, but just brushed through the last and just left the door open for Defi du Seuil. Had a few very minor traffic problems getting through, but had a surge up that final hill. Harry Cobden and Paul Nicholls settling for second, and it's close in third between the 12-year-old Simply Ned and St Calvados. So Politologue led here, which might not have been absolutely ideal tactics for him, but he's run a corker.
He has, and I think he's been able to dictate the terms of the race. They're all in with a chance over the last. I think it's developed into a little bit of a sprint, and that is something that really does suit Defi du Seuil. I think for a jumper, he has got a real weapon of a turn of foot, and when races develop in this manner, he's really, really hard to beat, particularly when he's getting a bit of weight as well. And when a race develops in this manner, as I say, I just think that he's very, very difficult to beat, an extremely smart horse, and he's versatile as regards trip. They've got another big season ahead, but you can take positives from every one of these from the way they've gone about this.
It was a really interesting and good race, wasn't it, Jonathan?
Yeah, it was. I mean, Politologue has picked up really well from the last, but still been comprehensively outpaced. He's given the winner £3, but I don't think that's the difference. He's a very smart horse, as Chris was saying, with a turn of foot. The time I've got virtually identical to the novice, so they went a reasonable gallop, but no more than that.
And what did you make of Simply Ned? Because he was just holding his head to one side at one point, but he's definitely given his running and laid down a challenge.
Yes, he's running this for the 6th time, and
6th straight time,
and he's run perfectly well. No doubt they'll have him off to Ireland again, won't they?
Yeah, to try and win that Grade 1 he won last year.
He's still got the fire.
He certainly has. And how about St Calvados?
Yeah, I think he's run another good enough race without just being quite good enough. he's taking on just a couple of classier performers. Than he won a handicap off a lofty enough mark last time out, but this is much deeper, a different class of opposition that he's taking on, and he's just been made to look quite one-paced by the other two late on, and this perhaps isn't the ideal kind of test for him, a race run at that sort of tempo.
All sorts of different things that Defi de Seuil has been quoted for. The Tingle Creek, the Queen Mother Champion Chase and the Ryanair, but he started off really well with this nice success, a really wicked turn of foot for Barry Gertie and Philip Hobbs, and extending the excellent day for JP McManus. And now we can head back to Nick in the studio, and he's covering Cork for us.
Yeah, it's been a good afternoon for JP McManus. Just the 6 on the board, 2 at